towards Israel. Now, when it comes to Iran, obviously that's outright hostility, a genocidal regime founded on anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiment. North Korea also for years very vocally anti-Israel, does not recognize Israel's right to exist. Russia, as we've outlined here in the newscast in recent years, is turning increasingly against Israel as it turns into the arms of the Iranian regime. And then there's China. China has a 25-year, $400 billion cooperation agreement with, you guessed it, Iran, which was inked in 2021. So folks, do the math. When you have China and Russia in league with Israel's greatest enemy, the Iranian regime, that doesn't bode well for the world's one and only Jewish state vis-a-vis that Gathering Storm coalition. I want to read you some quotes made just today by China's foreign minister. I'm going to read it right off my phone here. I do not want to misquote him regarding Israel and the war against Hamas in Gaza. China's foreign minister Wang Yi, I'm just quoting here from the Times of Israel, calls the war against Hamas in Gaza a, quote, disgrace for civilization, and reiterates Beijing's calls for an immediate ceasefire. He goes on to say, it is a tragedy for humankind and a disgrace for civilization that today, in the 21st century, this humanitarian disaster cannot be stopped, and there is no reason that can justify what he says is the continuation of the conflict in Gaza, and no excuse can justify being desperately killed. The international community must act immediately towards a ceasefire, and he supports full membership for a Palestinian state becoming a member of the United Nations. Now, folks, he is calling Israel's campaign in Gaza, and we've outlined this on the newscast time and time again, how Israel has gone to extraordinary lengths under unprecedented circumstances in Gaza. Israel has gone to great lengths to avoid civilian casualties and then some. We've unpacked this time and time again here on the newscast, yet he's calling it a disgrace, an international disgrace, and there's no excuse for it. Well, I've got an excuse for Israel's war. He says there's no excuse for Israel's war in Gaza to go on. I've got a very good excuse. It's called October 7th and the massacre of 1,200 Jewish men, women, and children in Israel, the greatest massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust. That's number one. Number two, another great reason, Hamas is not yet dead. And we've still got that last Hamas bastion of Rafah along the Egyptian border. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu said today that Israel is going to finish the job no matter what. And he said, the more we have international pressure, he didn't name China, but I'll name them, the more we have that pressure, the more we need to galvanize as a people, the people of Israel, and come closer together and be even more resilient and more committed to finishing the job in Gaza. He said, we're going into Rafah. Whether the world likes it or not, they can wail and gnash their teeth. And those who don't want us to go into Rafah, Netanyahu said, really want us at the end of the day to lose the war. Because, folks, if Israel doesn't go into Rafah, which is, again, Hamas's last stronghold, where actually a good number of the hostages right now, there are still over 100, are probably being held in those underground tunnels. If Israel doesn't go there, it leaves Hamas alive to fight another day, and it opens up the possibility of, you guessed it, more October 7th. Obviously, that is a non-starter for Israel. But folks, those comments by the Chinese foreign minister, China's top diplomat, they are a harbinger, I believe, of things to come as this Gathering Storm coalition, again, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, cleaves closer together, obviously anti-Western. But if you're anti-Western, you're usually anti-Israel as well. So look for China, in addition to Russia, to continue to turn against Israel. Here's the good news. God Almighty still sits on the throne. When it comes to Israel, he neither slumbers nor sleeps. So don't be despondent about this. If you know the Bible, you know this had to happen. But Israel right now, the leaders of Israel, I said this on yesterday's newscast, I'll say it again today. And if you miss any of our newscasts, by the way, just go to our archives on the homepage. While you're there, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted, but I said yesterday, let me repeat it, Israel's leaders, pray, folks, for them to have spines of steel and the wisdom of Solomon, because it's not just the gathering storm, it's not just Gaza, it is Lebanon. We've talked often here in the newscast about that coming great northern war that will dwarf what's happening in Gaza. I'm sad to say it's coming. It's not a matter of if but when. And we traveled to the Israel-Lebanon border just a few weeks ago, where I met with the mayor of the Mateh Asher Regional Council. Now, it's a very large regional council comprising communities near the Lebanon border, communities where 80,000 people, 80,000 have been evacuated. They're living out of suitcases in hotels across Israel with no idea when they are going to return home. So we traveled to this closed military zone. We met with Mayor Moshe Davidovich, mayor of, again, the Mateh Asher Regional Council. And I would say it's a desperate plea on the part of the leaders in northern Israel. Hey, Hezbollah must be dealt with, or we're not getting back to any semblance of normalcy anytime soon. Take a look. We are about 1 mile from Israel's border with Lebanon in the beautiful community of Mateh Asher. We're here with the mayor of the Mateh Asher Regional Council, Moshe Davidovich. Moshe, first of all, mayor, I should say, first of all, thank you so much for having us during this very difficult time for your community. First, tell us a bit about Mateh Asher, close to the Mediterranean, again, a beautiful community, but a tough time for you right now.
You can see we are on the Galilee. All this area is green. The river are full of water. We see above us the Mediterranean Sea, that civilians and residents was proud to live here and to grow their children here. But now, as you can see, all of this kibbutz, Metzuba, we are in Metzuba kibbutz, it's empty. And you can hear just the wind. It's very sad to be in this situation.
And how many people, Mayor, would usually be here? How many people live in this community?
Exactly here in Metzuba there is 1,200 citizens, but all of the reason that we evacuated almost 8,000 citizens that going from their home in the Black Saturday. I ordered all the residents to evacuated for their home, to take the suitcase and go out, because we're afraid that the Hezbollah will attack us as the Hamas do in the Gaza Strip.
So immediately, Mayor, after the October 7th massacre, you immediately said we need to evacuate.
Yeah, I feel a very bad feeling that we can be in the situation like in Gaza Strip. And after a few days, the government decided to take a decision to take us, all the residents from the border till 2 miles from the border, to hotels all over the country.
So you have your citizens, your people, they're spread out now throughout Israel. They've had to leave this beautiful area in northern Israel near the Lebanon border. And they don't know when they're coming back.
Without knowing when they're supposed to get back. Till now, we are 120 days after the war was started. Until now, even the government and the prime minister can't answer us when they will back to their beautiful home.
Not getting an answer from the government and not seeing the UN do what they're supposed to do and push Hezbollah back from the border. It seems that the only way for life to get back to some semblance of normal here in the north is for Israel to take decisive action against Hezbollah. What do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, there is a decision 1701 of the UN. The resolution was that the Hezbollah is supposed to be north the river of the Litani.
Mm-hmm.
So
which is how far from here?
It's 40 kilometers from the border above us. Okay? So
the border is right here, by the way.
Yeah, the border is right here. So it's a difficult situation to say that we don't attack the tunnels. And as you see, you can see the fence from here that the IDF built. The Hezbollah attacked the fence in 7th of October and killed 2 officers that came to prevent terrorists to get into Israel. You can see all of this area. It was till the 7th of October a quiet and beautiful zone. Now all of this area is empty without of one of our residents.
It can't go on, Mayor. It
Yeah.
can't go on. And we salute you for all your work, leading the way here, leading the conflict zone, communities here in the north, and you've been the point man dealing with the government. Hey, we're praying for you in the United States, our viewers around the world. Anything we can do, anything else you want to share that's on your heart during this very difficult time?
We want all the world will know what's happened here. We look for peace and for quiet, and we pray for peace. There will be not peace with terrorists, with terrorism.
Yeah, Mayor, as you said, refugees in their own country.
Refugees.
It's unsustainable, and it can't go on. And God willing, it won't go on. And with leaders like you here in the north, this beautiful region will be just fine going forward. Mayor, thank you so much. We
Thank
truly
you.
appreciate it. God bless you. Thank
God
you.
bless
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Folks, pray for the residents of northern Israel. Pray, number one, that they can return home soon, that their homes are still intact as Hezbollah's firing rockets and missiles on a daily basis. And pray also that Hezbollah, this demonic Iran-backed force, is roundly and soundly defeated so that they, in addition to Hamas, can never pose any sort of threat whatsoever to Israel ever again. That showdown is coming. We've called it the Great Northern War, folks, and Israel needs our prayer right now more than ever. Hey, if you like this kind of content that we're bringing you every day on The Watchman, get ready for our new nightly show. Launching March 25th, mark your calendars, Stakelbeck Tonight on TBN. Now, we'll be in Israel and points beyond across the Middle East and across the world. Here's a sneak peek at the brand new show, Stakelbeck Tonight. Hey everyone, Erick Stakelbeck here. For nearly a decade, I've shared my journey with you here on TBN as The Watchman. I've traveled far and wide, from DC to Europe to the front lines of the Middle East and beyond, to bring you the inside story of world-changing events from a biblical perspective and how it all affects you, your family, and your faith. Now I'm inviting you, my fellow watchmen and women, to join me on a new adventure. Starting this March, The Watchman becomes Stakelbeck Tonight. The same hard-hitting, in-depth commentary